Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Terry to throw first. Game on.
Mark Webster yesterday beating Michael Smith 6-3.
140.
It was a very impressive performance from Mark the last couple of days. He started his games exceptionally well. We have documented that he has worked so hard on his technique.
78.
I think it's just a case of he hasn't played as many games as some of the guys who've been on the European Tour regularly in 2016, and sometimes it's just about playing a little bit longer, getting a few more games.
13.
I'm looking for some 13 there, Terry. But I think the more games Mark plays, the more we will see. He's been winning some very good matches over the last few weeks. And when you're beating the likes of Michael Smith and Mervyn King, you can't be doing much wrong.
Absolutely. Ton 40 and a 13 so far for Terry. What will he serve up here? Something in between, maybe. That will be the case.
100.
Steady as they come. Yeah, it was an interesting contest with Pyman yesterday. Terry was way in front and Pyman came back at him. And he put in a very professional last leg.
Yeah, he was always in control of that one. Smith never really had a sniff.
Yeah, you don't have to give the Pyman much of a sniff when it comes to anything.
95.
Well, Terry's down to 153. Webster is 110 adrift. Make that 50.
Going to stay there now. There you go. Well, when you're on 263, you may think you need a 19 to leave a finish, but he didn't need any 19s there.
Yeah, you just have that momentum, get the crowd going, get them on side. Down to a
99.
manageable finish here of 83. Potentially 2 darts away. Treble 17 would have left double 16. Bullseye he wants now, though. Oh, and he takes it out. Dave Chisnell. Styly.
Second leg is Mark to throw first.
Chizzy wrapping up that first game with a 1-2-7 on the ball, and Webster takes the opening leg here on the ball as well.
We mentioned, didn't we, at the beginning of the match, that Mark played really well at the start of both of his previous 2 matches. Well, he started this one
100.
just as well, if not better. And Mark Webster hasn't featured in as many European Tour events this year as he would have hoped. And when he's been in Europe, I don't think he's been very pleased with the performances he's had so far. But one thing he can definitely take away from this weekend already, without this result or this performance, is that he's most definitely on the charge. And he's doing a lot of things correctly.
Well, this is his 3rd European Tour event this year. He's on £2,500 in the European Order of Merit for the qualifying right for the European Championship. He made the 2nd round in Venray, the 1st round in the European Match Play in Hamburg in May.
100.
So he's on £2,500. He needs to make the final to get into the top 32 at the expense of, first of all, Jamie Caven. David Pallett in a similar position as well. Jamie Caven, I'm sure, is keeping a very close eye and ear on this match and keeping everything crossed.
Just a little bit.
And praying to all the gods he can find.
Those darting gods that break our heart and fulfill our dreams.
81.
Well, Robbie Green, that defeat by Michael van Gerwen was the first part of the equation for Jamie yesterday. James Richardson, another player looking over his shoulder. It would take
100.
The seemingly unlikely scenario of Webster meeting Pallett in the final, but let's not rule it out. Anyway, Webster here, 60 away from a 2-leg lead. Tops he wants. With Jenkins waiting on 118.
60. Terry, you require 180.
And he said it yesterday. Has he got his number here?
That's 1 that he needs. That's another 3 of those.
Double 19.
80.
Oh, that'll look good to Terry, that.
20.
Can't afford to give Terry any more chances. Well, he snagged this one in the web, and he does.
Shot on the 2nd leg.
Red segment hit by the man in red on a red carpet. Plenty of red today.
Yeah, left-hander, double 10. Soften the weight. James Wade, for example.
100.
Yeah, it's a big day for the European Tour today. Obviously, it's the last European Tour event of 2016. Go to the European Championships in a couple of weeks. And that culminates in Belgium. But today we have the culmination of the Development Tour as
59.
well. Which, I will be honest, I think it's just as exciting as today here in Germany. So much talent over there in England, vowing to get to the development tour. Last 64 to go and have a crack at the World Youth title. And my God, we saw some great stuff from Corey Cadby, Justin Van Turgau, Dean Reynolds yesterday.
Yesterday as well. Plenty of talent from Jenkins just a few moments ago with that 180 to get himself in position for a hold of throw in this third leg. 65 though, just checked slightly there.
Yeah, good maths from Mark here. He knows that if he hits a 60 with the first start, he's still got to utilise 18s.
98.
Good effort.
156.
Yeah, another 60 would have left him on the verges of a finish there, but Jenkins favourite here.
100.
Nowadays, you do tend to find that players on form can take care of 386 starts. I mean, look at what Whitlock did at the Grand Prix. He took care of 330.
Webster taking care of business here with a 180. And again, he might have switched, but he's left himself double 15 in case Jenkins slips up. But he doesn't. And Jenkins is off the mark.
Fourth leg is marked through first. Game on.
He's just letting Terry know that you're not going to win a leg that easily. Even when Terry's got the darts, Mark's going to keep asking questions. And that's the mark of a good pro.
100.
And Terry's asked a lot of questions about a lot of players over the years. Feels like he's been around forever. And there's no sign of him dwindling at all.
60.
Sometimes he talks about slowing down and maybe playing a few less events. Well, Terry, I don't believe a word you say anymore because you've been saying that to me for a good 3 years.
He's asked more questions than Bamba Gascoigne, can I say.
Than Magnus Magnusson. He's a bit of a mastermind. I wouldn't mind Terry Jenkins on my quiz team. He knows a lot about everything. But then again, if I wanted someone on my quiz team, absolutely Mark Webster would be there for the sport. He is a boffin when it comes to sport. And I did say to you last night, Rob.
Well, after I out-muscled and out-tussled Werner von Moltke, by the way.
Yeah, that was a great question.
A sporting knowledge bonanza.
I think a good sport off between you and Webster will be definitely very watchable.
Yeah.
26.
Maybe one for the podcast guys to sort out for us.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, it's a nip and tuck like this. I feel that Mark just needs a treble. Gets
100.
One valuable treble just to give himself a little bit of breathing room. That breathing room is being made to look claustrophobic right now.
140.
And he's down to the 9-dart finish.
Two of those would have left double 14. Would dearly love to leave 48 now.
100. Teddy require 141.
Well, this is the shot that he took out to hit a 9-dart leg in the World Championships.
Well, there's the one.
41. Mark require 48.
Going to be 8. He won't go for 16s. Prefers tops.
Because if he misses, he can go to double 10, which is taken out already, but he takes out double 20.
Game on.
And it's 3-1. 5-6 the pair in the betting prior to the start of play in this match. Nothing separating them as far as the layers are concerned.
80.
But 2 legs the difference once again here.
I think that's pretty accurate, Rob. I really do. I think they're even through the course of this tournament and maybe on current form. Yes, Terry's seeded and seeded number 11 at that, which is very, very commendable. But very hard to split these two guys, especially when Mark's played so well over the last 48 hours.
123.
Well, Terry was a qualifier for this tournament last year. He was knocked out in the second round by James Wade, losing that one 6-3. Wade, of course, the man Jenkins beat in the World Grand Prix earlier this month.
121.
Before losing to Van der Pas.
Well, that was a pretty sweet victory for Terry Jenkins at the Grand Prix. The amount of pain and suffering that James Wade has inflicted on the bull over the years.
44.
A little bit of revenge.
Yeah. So he's bettered last year's run, but he has failed to go beyond the third round of, or did fail to go beyond the third round of any of the 3 months, or sorry, any of the 3 tournaments
40.
we had last month on the European Tour. 3 European Tour events in September. Had a 6-5 defeat by Joe Mernon in Sindelfingen in round 2, but he was a semi-finalist in Austria and made the last 8 in Dusseldorf as well, having failed to get beyond the last 16 in any of his previous 6. So he sort of addressed that and then seemed to revert to type, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the semi-finals in Vienna, he lost to Michael Smith,
58.
who lost out to Phil Taylor in the final, but that was the best performance by Michael Smith all week for him in Vienna. He got away with a couple of matches there. I think even he would admit that. But you've got to think if the Bull is going to have some sort of a charging performance, it would be against a man in red, right?
Well, there you go. Absolutely.
134. Teddy Ricard, 135.
Well, like a red rag to a bull, but Webster is getting on with business here. Bullseye he wants here, Jenkins. Ball for bull.
110.
That was a tricky shot.
Right.
Mark, you require 52.
If I'd have hit that in, I would have tested him to be extraterrestrial, I think. Tops again for Webster. It's a big dart.
32.
It isn't there. And Terry
Ricard,
Jenkins has got the
25.
opportunity to close that gap to one leg. Keeps him in the match if he hits this. 2 4s.
Needs this.
Game
Gets it
shot
as
on the
well.
fifth leg.
3-2. Could so
Terry
easily have been
Jenkins.
4-1.
Six-legged smack to
Jenkins
go first.
is still
Game
very
on.
much alive in this contest.
Valuably, Mark Webster still has a break.
Bubbling up nicely, this one, though.
100.
Yes, good game. Good professional game. No antics, no dancing, none of the modern stuff. This is a good old-fashioned game.
60.
Well, Terry Jenkins, 9-time major finalist, one of dart's nearly men, is without a PDC title since winning a Players' Championship event in September of last
93.
year. It's long overdue. Did make the final of one this year in August. Lost 6-5 to Gary Anderson. Went all the way with the world champion. And going all the way once again
180.
with another 180.
I don't think anybody would begrudge Terry a major or a TV title. If anything, it would just get
58.
us off his back and call him a 9-time major finalist. We could refer to him as something else. Thing is, though, he's still got the game to trouble a lot of people. It doesn't seem like a million years ago he was making major finals again at the UK Open, where he lost to Adrian Lewis. Lost at the European Championship final to Michael van Gerwen.
132.
3 180s in this match now. That was the first for Jenkins. Just prior to that
100.
visit there,
Teddy
that sets up
Ricard,
this finish of 129.
125.
125 was the call from Paul Ince. 129 on the screen and on my data information sheet here. We may just have to address this issue.
89. Mark
89
Ricard,
scored.
150.
40 by my reckoning remaining, but the scoreboard hasn't changed yet. So we might have a bit of an issue here, Paul. It's 40 is
100.
required.
Well, we know that Mark's got 50
36.
left.
36 is called here now. I think we've got a problem with the scoring, but Jenkins is going for 36. He's got double 9 now.
Well,
it has been amended.
27. Mark, you require 50.
Well, Terry's basically doing what the referee tells him to do, and
Well, he
that's
has
exactly what you have to do. Referee's the boss up there, and the boss could be Webster if he hits this tops. Missed 2 in the last leg. This is huge.
30.
And there was one high and
Teddy
one low,
Ricard,
just like the
9.
last leg. 9 left for Jenkins. Double 4 again. Double 4 it is again.
Terry Jenkins.
Could have been 4 or 5 1 to Mark
7
Webster, but it's 3-3.
Game on.
And we got a game on now. I think there's a sigh of relief from the bull there. He could easily be 5-1 down. Well, Dan Dawson likes to say, "Why always me?" Terry says. Well, bit of fortune in the fact that Webster's missed a few
100.
doubles in the last couple of legs has given him an opportunity, and he's taken those double 4s and run with them both.
Well, I'm pretty sure there was an error with the scorer there because
100.
he opened with a 60 for 441, took out the 180 to leave 261. Then there was a visit of 132, which brings him down to 129. Then he scored 89 to leave 40, but he was chasing 36. So
100.
anyway, on we go, 3 apiece.
We'll get that double and triple check later on, but let's hope it doesn't
100.
affect the result. I'm sure no matter what happens with the score there, he would have gone up and just hit what he needed to hit.
140.
I'll tell you what, if you get close up that treble 20, it is getting absolutely mullered.
Well, look at this. Nothing in the betting. 5 to 6 the pair before the start of play. 3 apiece. 161. Both players left on here.
Mark require 161.
We're getting to the period of the game where we need a game-changing shot. And this could be it.
It's very similar to the start of the Chisnall pipe match, this. 7 legs went with the throw.
130. Terry require 96.
Well, too good maybe from Webster. He's down to one finish of 31. Jenkins, though, might not give him the opportunity.
58.
I feel like you rushed that dart a little
Mark
bit.
require 31.
That's right, Terry. It was the double 19 you required. 31. It will be 7 for double 12. It's a different target now. But it is hit. It's hit this time.
Mark Webster.
He's missed 4 darts in the last couple of legs. No messing around on double 12 though. 4-3 Webster, and he has that break back, which he relinquished. Now we're going to learn about Mark's staying power in a real gritty match.
96.
In this one, he's been in, like I said, he's been in some great matches over the last few weeks. I know that he was in a real humdinger with Johnny Clayton in Dublin.
And this
121.
a humdinger as well. Now, in that Chisnall pipe match, the all-important break of throw came in the all-important 8th leg. We've talked about it time and time again. It's the perfect chance to break, the perfect time to break, and that certainly applies here for Webster. It would leave him throwing first in the 9th for a 6-3 win, and Jenkins just losing his way there momentarily. It may just have opened the door here for Webster if he can rattle in a big score. Another one of those will do him the world of good.
Of course, Webster's one of the few remaining guys that is played in all of the PDC World Cup matches. Played with a couple of partners. So he's actually played with 4. Richie Burnett, Barry Bates, Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. But he has been the captain of Wales for a good 6 years now, and ever present. There's a few other ones as well. Phil Taylor's been there for everyone.
99.
Brendan Dolan.
But
Simon Whitlock.
He is the constant in the Welsh equation. Now Jenkins, 2:05 remaining. 1:45 remaining. 95 remaining.
I said yesterday the equation was 6 times pi equals victory for Andy Smith. The equation here is treble 18 and double. Well, he was going for the 60 even though it was blocked.
And he's hit the 5 as well, so it's kiboshed any hopes he had of nicking it at this particular visit. 95 for Jenkins. He was looking at the balls. 70 remaining. 20. Oh, he's strayed into the 1, and look how furious he is. That's pretty unforgivable, isn't it?
And didn't Justin Pipe do that in the last game as well?
45.
Go for the big singles, guys.
Mark require 60.
Go for the bullseye. Don't worry about double
Antox.
5s and stuff.
Just has to step over to the right-hand side of the oche to find the room. It's some way below the bed, so double 10 here for Webster for that break of throw.
50.
Jenkins breathes again.
50.
He breathes again, and he gets a chance that maybe he shouldn't have even had. Double top. He doesn't miss that very often. He pings the target that Webster couldn't. And it's yet another break of throw. And the bookies had it even. The scoreboard has it even. I can't pick it, Rob. What about you?
Best of 3 encounter now. Jenkins has to be the favourite, throwing first here.
I just feel that Terry's getting away with a few things that, and Mark is not really getting away with anything. The legs that he's winning, he's really earning them.
$123.
Check that out for a 1-2-3. 2 darts in the 60, right in the bottom corner. Like a couple of Zinedine Zidane penalties.
134.
Oh, it's gripping in its own way. I mean, look at that. 4 out of 11 each. You can't separate them in any way in this game.
Any capacity at all.
Oh, fair play to the bookies. They had it right.
Absolutely bang on the money. That's why they do what they do. But Webster, this is why he does what he does. That could be pivotal. That could be absolutely pivotal. Webster looking at a break of throw here in the 9th. And then throwing for the match with a 5-4 lead, potentially. He still has work to do here, though.
20. Hit the 20. All right. Hit that and go for double 5 then. Oh.
82.
Another chance missed. Terry Jenkins, will he go for the bullseye? Now it's 19. It's double 6. These guys are getting greedy. But double 6 it is.
Terry just double checking.
82.
Just feel his rhythm was interrupted there. Should know that when he got 69 left, maybe double 6 when he hit treble 19, was double 2 for Webster. Double 1 right next to his favourite double top.
No score.
And missed doubles is the thing that's frustrating Mark Webster here.
Game shot on the 9th.
What a time to
Terry
hold.
Jenkins. Sounds like he's Mark to throw first. Game on.
Mark's got to keep his cool here. He's been slightly the better player in this match, but he is behind. Just got to remember that he's scoring slightly better than Terry. If he keeps doing this, as he hits the 150th, 180 of the tournament so far, I've got a funny feeling we might make it to 200 again.
Well, we've had 2 breaks of throw in this match already. If Jenkins can find another one here, he'll win the match. But it's a tall order because Webster started really well in this 10th leg.
Well, if Webby does lose this match, he will be justifiably livid.
140.
He led 3-1. And now he trails 5-4.
Oh, he's finding this 60 when he needs it. Great leg when the pressure is on. But Mark knows he's played in plenty of these matches before. The pressure was on from the first start of this leg, and it'll be on until the end of the next one, potentially. 16 for tops. For tops. To find it.
61.
Well, he will be back. Looking at double 10. Jenkins on 180 here. And he's making inroads. Stay well away from that treble 20 bed now.
Mark, you require 20.
And TJ asks the question. It's a great question. The answer is double 5.
Let him down before, but it doesn't let him down here, and we're level once again at 5 apiece.
Teddy to throw first. Game on.
There's a few of us in here who've been excited for the last couple of days. A bit of a squeaking Paul Hinks voice. There's a bit of a frog in my throat. I'll be getting excited
44.
as well. We've got 2 players on that stage. It's 5-5. Whoever wins this is going to be very excited because they'll be in the quarterfinals of the German Darts Championship.
Yeah, the last 4 legs
100.
have been shared, but they've been legs that have been in the balance to a greater or lesser extent. Who will hold their nerve in this
100.
final act of what has been a fairly enthralling third round match on day 3 here in Hildesheim. Second match of the day.
Webby's holding it together at the minute. Won't like that 5 though. Great recovery.
125.
Puts a little bit of pressure on the TJ throw. Is Terry up to it?
100.
And that's okay, but it looks like Webster might have stolen the throw.
He might well have done indeed, but he needs to build on what he's established so far here. That's an excellent third dart.
That could well be the best visit of the match so far, I think. The pressure that he was under to command the throw. And look at this from Terry Jenkins. He might have to take this out now.
Webster must have thought he was in a very, very good position, and he's found the 5 once again with his first dart. Jenkins left with 77. Webster looked to have stolen 45. A march on his opponent here, but Jenkins 77 for the match and a place in the quarterfinals. Double 10 he wants. One more dart in hand.
57.
And that was closer to double 6.
Mark, you require 91.
I think Terry would say that was probably closer to Austria. Not the best effort, he will say it. But Mark Webster now has left 76. He's got 2 darts in his hand, he's got choices.
Treble 20, double 8, surely. Well, he's missed the treble 20 anyway.
51. Teddy Rupar 20.
And if Jenkins does slip up, Webster will return, but Jenkins looking at double 10 still here, and he's only got 1 dart remaining as well. And he comes inside, and Jenkins just simply cannot believe it. I don't think Webster can either.
After all of the misses that Mark has had in this match, everything's just turned around 360 degrees, and another 180 to Mark Webster for tops. 2 10s with 1 dart in hand. And gets it in a big screen from Webby. That means a lot to him.